Welcome to the Million Dollar Blueprint with Karen Padetti, where we can talk about the honest truth about either starting a business or growing your business to the $1 million mark. I will give you a roadmap that provides you with the ideal client or buyer, financial wisdom, marketing, branding, leadership, and so much more. Thank you for joining the Million Dollar Blueprint. I hope you enjoy the episode. For the things that you aren't good with, the best thing is to find somebody who is exceptional at. You know, when you're really exceptional at something, you tend to be very passionate. That's when your creative juices get flowing and you're ready to go conquer something. But if you don't like something, that's when you drag your feet, stall as long as possible, and then even if you try doing it, it sucks anyways. So speed up the process, and remember, in business, your time makes money. So if you really truly need to do what is most effective for you to make as much money as possible. Now, for me, one of the things, there's two major things that I am not good at. One is all the social media. I can press some buttons, say some things, record a few things, but really the whole thing of the social media and where it goes and all that, it's not me. I'm old. And this was way before growing up. My kids have taught me a lot. The young people in business have taught me a ton. And then there's another thing, the boutique, which I own a boutique, and it is attached to our salon and spa. And, it has its own distinct square footage and all that. And the thing drives me nuts. I'll buy stuff because I think it's cute. I've traveled. I've gone to New York, Vegas, California, all the big shows, and come back and bring stuff. And I think it's great and wonderful. And then I put it in the boutique, and, my staff, you can hear them murmuring. And they know now that they can be honest with it, with me regarding what it is. And usually it's, I'll get a D- of basically what I bought. So I decided I hate the boutique. It probably hates me too. I wish it would disappear. So today, Sarah, say hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Sarah is now in charge of my boutique. She is much younger than me, much more savvier in that kind of realm. And that definitely is her thing. Definitely is not my thing. So, first of all, Sarah, what do you love about being in charge of the boutique and stuff like that? Because basically I said to you, here, make this thing work or it's going away completely.
Yes.
And you said, okay. And I said, oh, good.
I jumped on it.
Yeah, I know you did. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because it's just a sore spot for me.
Yeah, it's okay.
So what makes that something you love?
Well, first, I remember walking in to interview, and I walked in through the boutique, and I was like, oh, this is, a great space. I literally wanted to take that room and, just, I don't want to say do it over.
Yes, you did.
But kind of.
Yes, you did.
But kind of.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this is, such a good space. This would be, this could be really, really good. That was my first moment of oh, I really think I could probably help her. but it was, I didn't even have the job yet. So I had to really just, take my time with that. But I would say, one, I have experience in retail. So that really helps. Knowing about merchandising and sales. I wouldn't say that I love that part, but I'm good at it just because I have experience with it. The part I love is fashion, clothing, accessories, putting things together, trying to figure out what our clients would like, what would bring new clients in. That part I really enjoy. And even when I was in retail, when I was a manager, that was always my favorite part. And that's what kind of kept me in it for so long, was that the fashion aspect and what people would feel really good in. I would say that is definitely my favorite part.
You mean you didn't love those crazy hours?
No, retail hours are horrible.
Yeah. Or Christmas time.
Oh, yeah. Christmas Eve. Yeah. Every holiday.
Oh, that's
horrible.
terrible. Yes. Well, it was funny. I was so thrilled and grateful when you said, "Oh yeah, I'll take it over." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." It does have a ton of potential.
It does.
But it really, honestly, if you're going to have something like that, you need to have one, the real amount of time to dedicate to that. And to me, it was just
another thing to do.
yeah, that was just, let's get this shit done so I can get this off my list and move on to stuff I actually want to do.
Yeah.
So you truly have the passion.
Yeah.
And I truly do not have the passion. And I think immediately that's very clear. So again, if you are going to take something on, you've got to love it. You've got to have the passion for it. If you don't, really, it's a disaster. It will give you headaches. It's terrible. So what was one of the first things you did with the boutique as far as like, let's take this over? I mean, you had a kind of, you tell me what you did.
I shoved all the stuff that was already in it into a corner. And we started fresh. We got new vendors, which has been actually a really good learning experience. I've never worked with like vendors before. So like trying to figure out which companies and like which brands are really good. And, you know, we've had some things come in that were really bad, like really bad quality, had to return it. It was a whole ordeal. But that's a part of it. That's a part of learning and growing. Yeah, definitely getting new vendors, getting new and exciting things in there, and shoving the rest in the corner.
Yes. Didn't I say, could you at least put this on sale instead of just take it straight to the dumpster?
Yeah.
So yeah, they marked it half off, and it was just like, please take me,
Yeah.
or it's going to the dumpster. Yes, that was lovely. Yeah, it was. And then, well, let's talk about, because there's another part of something that I do. It's Badass, and it is a clothing line. Be a Badass, and it came about because my youngest daughter has ADHD, and my husband and I don't. So when she was diagnosed very, very young, like at 2 years old, and you know, when they said, "Oh, she has ADHD," I'm like, "What the hell is that?" I mean, I didn't know. So of course, I got books. I took her to doctors. I had to figure out everything, and I did a TED talk on it, and so this clothing line came about because I wanted to have a foundation for kids who have ADHD and that they want to go to college. And a lot of kids with ADHD learn very differently. They're brilliant in different ways. And so I wanted them to be able to go to a place, which would be me, my foundation, and ask for money for grants to go to different kind of vocational school. Maybe it's aesthetics or hair or vet tech or anything of that nature. And I wanted to kind of contribute to that. That was something I really did. So when I decided I was going to do this, me on my own, I came up with a whole game plan. I do have a website, Be a Badass. And we do sell that portion out of the boutique as well. But it was like, okay, and I have been doing the same thing for this, you know, the same amount of time and stuff like that. I have to say, people love it though.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I think that the idea and like the reasoning behind it, and it's really great.
Yeah, so it has a cool story.
It does.
So then again, I'm like, well, what about Badass? What should we do about that? And again, Sarah's like, I got a few ideas. And I said, okay, let's meet tomorrow. Jot down some ideas and we'll meet. Well, I thought we'd have like a 45-minute meeting. I think it went on for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And you came prepared.
Oh, yeah.
Prepared. Talk about how that all went down.
Oh yeah. Well, one, I love Badass. And when you were saying how Peyton has ADHD, and when she was diagnosed, you and Jim had no idea about it.
Yeah,
like it was
clueless.
That's hard. Like as a parent, I remember I have anxiety. I was diagnosed at like very young, like Peyton, and my mom and dad had no idea. And it was really hard having to like almost teach them about it. And so I really admire that you you and Jim took that upon yourself. Like as a kid, it was hard to be like telling my mom and dad what I was going through, and you and Jim kind of did that on your own, and I think that's really great. And I love what Badass stands for, which is why I had so many ideas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. You came with drawings.
Oh, yeah, mood board.
Mood board. I'm like, I have a mood board. I go, I don't even know what a mood board is, but okay.
Yeah, no, I was excited.
Yeah.
Because it has so much potential. It's a great, like you said, people do love it. It's a great story. It's a great brand. It just needed to evolve a little bit.
A little.
Just a little.
I like when she says a little.
Just a little
so,
bit.
yeah. So, we are still in the process of making that evolve because we sat down with a few vendor companies and explained that process because we're still really in the thick of that too.
It's hard. I didn't even realize how much went into developing like a brand and like trying to make your own clothing line. Like that's hard work. And even just like with the vendors we did meet with, it's been kind of like hit or miss. They're not really understanding our vision, and it's kind of hard to even articulate what you want. So yeah, we are still in the thick of it. We are still trying to find some companies that we can, you know, have like good quality products, things that people would want to buy and wear, and it'll last.
Yes, good quality.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to figure out which people are just trying to sell you stuff
Everything
to sell
under
them.
the sun.
Yeah. The sneakers.
Yeah, explain briefly. We had this one person come in, and
he was so
had
sweet.
And we had a mood board. You had your mood
Oh,
board.
yeah,
we had a whole list of things, and just explain experience. Talk about, this is a perfect example when you're sitting down with a vendor and you really know what you're looking for, what you want. You sit down and they write notes, and we give them examples, and they come back with something like you're thinking, were we even in the same meeting?
Oh yeah, it was. And I would like to say we were very clear with what we wanted. We had a mood board, we had pictures, we had drawings, we had it all. And at the end of the day, we literally said we just want something simple and timeless, and you know, nothing crazy. We want to start small because we want to know, you know, what people like, what people don't like, what people are buying, what people aren't buying. So we explained this all to him, and he's like, all right, I think I got a general idea of what you guys are looking for. And we're like, perfect. You know, we'll see what you come up with. A couple weeks later, we get an email, and we had sneakers.
Sneakers, the sneakers.
We had sneakers, socks that had QR codes on it. It was crazy, like crazy stuff that we just didn't talk about at all.
Yeah, exactly. So in case you happen to be a vendor and have really cool clothes,
Oh yeah.
Sarah's the one that would let me know. But
Yeah.
let us know.
Yes, please. We're still looking.
Yes. Just so you know, my email is kpudetti, PUDETTI, at Lux, LUXE, spa.com. Would love some help from somebody.
Yeah.
Would definitely love some help. So that's probably part of our whole boutique, our new clothing line, and launching it. So, you know, it's not easy. I mean, we have, I think we have great ideas. Well, I don't have great ideas.
No, you do. Don't. No,
She has great ideas.
You do have great ideas. You do underestimate yourself a little bit.
Well, I try, and then I go, so does this look really cool? And they're like, well, you know, if you put it on this shirt, move that logo off,
Just
put the
tweak it a
logo over
little
here.
bit.
Yeah, that would look real cool. Oh, great. That was
It's a totally different idea of what you said. No, you do have good ideas. I think, honestly, us together, like me, you, and Carly, we all kind of bounce off of each other really well.
I do. I think the three of us are a phenomenal partnership in the fact that, you know, no ideas off the table.
No.
And when it's a bad idea, we usually laugh hysterically.
And then move on.
And then move
figure
on.
it out.
And so I think that is huge. I tend to be all right, let's get a deadline. Let's get it done.
How much is it going to cost?
Yeah. What is my favorite question I always ask?
How much is it going to cost me?
Yes. I always want to know how much is it going to cost, and if this doesn't sell, what are my options?
Yes.
What are my options?
Yeah.
We can send it back. We can put it on sale. we can, what's the other thing you've been telling me to do that we need to do?
Oh, well,
Pre-order.
yes. Pre-order, even just for Badass alone, like not buying a ton of inventory, just a couple sizes, a couple styles, and if those sell, that's great. Then we can order more. If not, we didn't lose a ton of money because there's only a couple that we bought. You know what I mean?
So we're still figuring that process out. But it's been a work in progress.
Yeah. Learn as we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So yes.
We've had a couple. We've had a couple oopsies, but listen.
Yes, we've had several
Yeah.
oopsies. Now, as far as our market, I know like the salon spa side. I mean, I know, we're looking for somebody in their more late 20s to like 45. All professionals are professionals making six figures, likes to travel, likes finer things in life. I mean, we have like a 3-page ideal client. And so I also know we're marketing the boutique towards a little bit different clientele. And that seems to be working, don't you think?
Yeah, I think as a whole, we've been trying to get a younger demographic in, just because right now the younger demographic, they love self-care. They love going into a spa and like indulging. They love going into a store and buying an outfit to make them feel better that day. Like that is something that's really important in this like younger generation. And having a boutique when you first walk in and it has these clothes that speak to them, that's one, great for the boutique. We can sell those clothes. We can, have them get an outfit that they love and feel good in. But then they're also going to want to go and enjoy the salon and spa. And like they're going to want to just have the whole luxe experience and they'll want to come back. And I feel like we are missing a little bit of that younger demographic right now, but that's just part of like the boutique and what that can do for us too.
Yeah. And so it was very intentional when we thought about the boutique. When I thought about it, I just wanted crap in there to sell.
Yeah.
And then when you took it over, you're like, we need to fine tune this. We need who are we marketing toward? This is what I think will work. And you came up with a whole plan for it. And that has really, really helped. And it's, I think it works well with the other aspects of the business, and I definitely do see our target market increasing as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way?
I do feel the same way. And I also don't want it to sound like other people or ages can't come and like buy the clothes. I have always said, and I tell my mom this all the time because my mom is someone who says this all the time. She'll go, "Oh, I'm too old to wear that." No, you're not. Yeah. No, you're not. Why are you aging yourself? Why are you putting an age on clothes? It's clothes. It's fabric. Anyone can wear it. So I think it's important too that like anyone can come in and buy the clothes that we have and feel good in them.
Yeah, I have to say, my girlfriend.
Yeah. Yes, that's a perfect example.
Yeah,
and she was so sweet. I love her.
Yes, she came in and she travels a lot for her job, and she ended up buying one of the new dresses that came in, and you told her what to put with it and stuff. She's like, "Oh my God!" Yeah, she bought a couple things, but like. And we are definitely in different age groups. But she loved it. She looked adorable in it, too.
She came back and told me that she wore exactly what we were talking about and that she loved it. And that's also what I love about the boutique. I love when they come back and, like, say how good they felt in the clothes. That makes me happy.
Yeah. I do notice more and more people are asking you now, if I get this, what else could I wear with it?
Yes.
And you're, like, rattling off
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So... I do. If you're going to be in this environment like a boutique, you got to have somebody, again, like Sarah, who loves what she's doing, but like everyone is always asking you, what does this look like? How does this look? What else can I do? And you come up with stuff, even I would be like, where'd she come up with that? And then I think, oh, that would probably be good. So, yeah. Yeah, you get a lot of repeat people who want to know what your opinions are on different things. I want to just talk a little bit briefly about the fact that when and I think this is a huge point. I really believe, like I didn't say here, I want you to do these tasks in the boutique. I basically, because if I give someone tasks to do, they're going to do, A, B, and C, but then when they're done, they're going to come back to me, and it's going to be, again, my issue, problem, concern, something to worry about. When I went to you, I was like, I really don't want to do anything in the boutique. I'm not good at it. Here, and I didn't want you to come back. Can I order this? Can I do this? And so one of the things that I thought was really, really important is that instead of giving you tasks, I was giving you kind of ownership of an area. And I think that sets people apart too. If you're an owner manager, when you give them tasks, they're doing certain things and then they're done with it. But the responsibility still lies on me or the person doing it. Whereas when I give you complete ownership of it, if there's an issue or problem, you figure it out. If there's, that one,
Oh gosh.
that you know what I'm going to talk about.
That one vendor that.
The vendor that came in, everything was wrong.
It was horrible.
It was
the clothes
terrible.
were not good.
No. And instead, if it was a task, they would have said, now what do I do? But you knew exactly what needed to be done, and you had to figure it out. And so that was your ownership. So if you're going to give people, if you want results in a certain area, you have to give up the area and give them total ownership of the whole area. Now, that's not to say I handed over my credit card and said, okay, good
She
luck.
would never.
No. I mean, we talked about a budget
Yeah.
and things of that nature, but it was all your doing. It wasn't, you weren't coming to me and saying, what about this? What about that? I'm like, I don't want to know anything. I just want it to work. So I think that was huge. 'Cause
Oh yeah.
truthfully, I don't think you would have been as, probably gun-ho, or two, as successful about that. Do you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. Even when it's funny, people will come in and they'll be like, "Oh, it looks so nice in here," and you always go, "Thanks, I had nothing to do with it." Like, that's hilarious. But I will say too, you kind of just handing it over, that says a lot. And I think you and Carly both are really good at that as like an owner and as a manager. Like, you trust your staff, you trust me, you don't ever like discredit my ideas. Like, I am younger, and so it is really easy for people to be like, oh well, you're 22, what do you know?
Yeah.
But like, you and Carly are both really good at like hearing me out and like really trusting me and like my vision and ideas, and that's really important. And that's one thing that not many people can say right now, like in their jobs and in their professions. I feel like I'm really lucky.
Yeah, and I actually forget you're so young because I always say you remind me of somebody in their late 20s, early 30s, but that's just how you handle yourself, carry yourself. That's how we kind of communicate. And again, I think that is a huge, huge component of your success, the boutique success, is that, besides you have all the background, you've been there, done that, and you're great with people, what's on the line. And I really at a young age knew I was kind of like an old soul.
Yeah.
I knew I was mature. I knew I could do a lot more than the average person of that age, and I saw that in you. And I've seen you have to handle disgruntled clients. I've seen you have to get mad at vendors. But I mean, you're very professional, and you would never know you're that young. So I think a key thing is finding the right person, again, for the right job.
Yeah.
Me if that vendor was giving you a hard time, didn't want to return things, I would have just started screaming at him. But you got your point across, and he did want to blow you off a few times.
Yeah.
And then you took care of that too. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that says kudos for somebody young who's accomplished as much as you have and done such an amazing job. And the funny thing is, in this whole building, which is 16,000 square feet,
it's big,
it's huge, and with all the staff we have here, everyone sees you as one of the key players. No one ever sees you as the young little girl in any way, shape, or form. There's people even a little older than me that know, like, don't mess around. Sarah's not going to be happy about that,
Yeah.
you know?
No, but it's again, it just kind of it just shows that the whole staff and everyone, the team in general, like is just really like respectful and like just really good team players.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. They're an amazing group of people. So I do think those things are pretty important. I think you've done kudos again. So what do you think your biggest challenges are?
Challenges, I mean, starting any type of business is hard, and it's not going to show payoff right away. You're not gonna, open a boutique and have the whole place sell out, even though you would like to. I know you would like that. It's not.
I'd like that in a heartbeat,
Yeah, it's not realistic. You kind of have to stay consistent, even when things aren't moving as fast as you would like them to be. I'm so impatient. I always just want results. That's why I'm horrible at online shopping, because I just want it to be here. Like, I'm just horrible at waiting.
Yeah.
But it's so important. You have to wait and stay consistent and be patient with it, because that hard work that we all put in will pay off. But it is challenging, having to wait and
Yes.
having to, just stay consistent and keep going, but it does pay off.
Yeah, I want you to talk about our location. I think our location and what else we have on this corner. We, just for those who don't know, we are in upstate New York, and we are on a very major corner. And so there are, I don't know, they once told me 250,000 cars or something crazy like that pass by us all the time. So I think that is good as far as location. Talk to me about social media, because I'm not. If I had my way, I still write out everything and stuff
yeah.
like that. So as far as owning the boutique and our social media, how do you feel about that? What are some thoughts?
So it's funny too, because like I said, when I came into the interview, I saw the boutique and I was like, oh, like I could have like so much fun with this. Like I could do so much. Before I interviewed, I looked you guys up on Instagram, and it was kind of like the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I could do so much for them. Like if they just let me, have their phone, I could do so much. And again, I am just grateful that they let me. One, that you and Carly were perfectly happy me not taking over the whole thing, but definitely helping out.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. The boutique, I love the Instagram for the boutique too. I started that, and it's important to have both. It's important to have a boutique and also be able to sell it on social media, because social media is huge. Yes, we're on like a busy corner, like you said, but the amount of people who are also online,
Gosh.
even more, you know what I mean? So starting the boutique Instagram and kind of, taking a little bit of a different approach that I did with Luxe. I think with Luxe, we really have been kind of leaning in towards like those funny videos and being very personable. It was funny because one of them went really viral, and we were trying to like tell Karen how viral it went. And you were like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
What?
They were very excited, and they go, we're going viral. And I'm thinking,
You're like, okay.
That sounds like, is that a bacteria infection?
Is that a good thing?
A virus? I'm like, oh my God. And they were so excited.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole staff was excited. And I'm like, can I see the video? I was like, oh, that's really cute. And they're like, we have all these. And I'm like, okay, that's good, right? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah. And that's just me. They were all excited, and I'm like, okay, that's really good. And they're like, it is.
Yes, the Luxe Instagram, it's been kind of like trial and error, what works and what doesn't. And I think people really like the personality and like the personable videos. But with the boutique, I kind of wanted to go a different route, more like aesthetic and like simple, and really just keep it nice and trendy. But again, that's what you have to look at when you're doing social media. You can't just post what's popular, post what you would like. You have to really look at your audience and what does well and what doesn't, and what gets views and what doesn't, what people are sharing and commenting on. And Luxe and the boutique, they're two different Instagrams, and they're two very different vibes, like totally different, but they both work.
Yeah. Yes, they do. I have to tell you, the funniest thing I saw, it's a reel, right? Is that what it's a reel?
Yeah.
was when Carly put a sheet over her head. It was at Halloween
Oh yeah,
time.
the ghost. That was like one of our first ones.
Yeah, she was a ghost, and so and she held up a sign.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
And it says, "Don't ghost your esthetician, ghost your ex-boyfriend."
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and it was hysterical. She had a sheet with eyeballs on it, holding up this sign. Oh, and sunglasses.
Yeah,
and sunglasses on. And I don't know how many hits we got. I know it was intense, and it was a good thing.
Yeah, it was good.
And but I had people reach out to me thinking that was hysterical. I don't know where you guys came up with it, but it was funny as heck.
Yeah.
And so those things I laugh at.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree completely with you. And we're still working on our boutique.
Yeah.
What do you call it? The boutique.
The website?
Yes, the
Yes.
website.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're still in the thick of things, doing things.
It's
and
still a
stuff
work
like
in
that.
progress for sure.
Yeah, but I have to say, it's one less thing I have to worry about, and people they love it, and they do like always like, oh, I love your clothes, and I do say, that's really nice. I had nothing to do with it because I didn't, and I want to give credit where credit's due. But yeah. So what else do you think we got to do with the boutique to get it to the next level? Because you know me, if anyone knows me, once we get to where I want to go, now we have to raise the bar and we have to get to the new next level, because the minute you stop worrying about where you're going and what the next thing is, that's when you get stagnant and you start going backwards. So what do you think our next thing should be?
Definitely, like you said, getting the website up and running, because online shopping is huge.
Yeah, we gotta finish that.
Yep, have to do that. Get pictures done for the website. So finding outfits to put together and getting people and finding a place and getting those pictures done. I think you're not gonna like this answer.
Oh, God.
I think maybe a little bit like new decor.
Oh, I knew that was coming. Yeah,
newer vibe in there, but that can be simple.
Yes. They always like to tell me where else I should be spending my
Yep.
money.
I knew you were going to love that one.
No, but I understand definitely where that's coming from. And that's really cool. Accessories. Where are we with accessories? I know we have some.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, accessories are always in retail, they're like an add-on, kind of like, which in spa world, you know what that is.
Yeah.
But it's such a good way to just complete an outfit. And like, it's just one more thing someone would want to pair with an outfit. They're so easy. Like those sunglasses that we got in, they weren't horribly expensive, but we got a ton of them and people love them. And it really is just like something to complete an outfit. We definitely need more, but what we do have, I feel like people love.
Oh yeah, they definitely
The purses.
love it. Oh yeah, the new purses and stuff. Yeah. I always kind of shudder when I see the UPS guys stop and start unloading boxes. I'm like,
boxes and boxes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, here we go. But then
We love it.
I know. I'm excited. I mean, it's very, very cute. So yes, I totally am excited about it. What else do you want to add about being able to do the boutique?
I mean, like I said, I just feel very lucky that I got the opportunity. I mean, like I said before, not many owners and bosses and managers nowadays, at least, are comfortable or even willing to share, or to not even to share, just to have other people do things, have other people get a chance to go and like figure something out for themselves or whatever. And I feel like you and Corey, like I said, are just really good about that and have really let me like have like creativity and full just kind of hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And just do it.
But you also worked very hard,
Yes.
proved yourself.
Well, yeah.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, I always say the people who work for me are my biggest assets. Mm-hmm. And truly they are. And I always try to express that and show that and stuff. So I think you've done an amazing, amazing job. And if you're looking for someone like Sarah, she's not available, just so we're clear on that. But you've done an amazing job, and I love, you know me, I always love to see people love what they're doing and get really excited about it. So it's definitely a win-win. It was, again, something that I totally sucked at. You know, I could order crap and put it in there all day long, and it was just going to sit there. And then I would go show them, like, oh, isn't this so cool? And it would be whatever it was. And they're like, no. Oh my God, I love it. So every time I love something, I show them, no.
Aww.
Okay. That's what I knew. Like, so again, if the passion's not there, if the excitement, the thrill isn't there, that's a sure sign. Don't do it. It's not going to be successful. You're not going to enjoy it. But yeah, what would you say to people like who want to get and do what you're doing? What would you say to them?
Just start it.
Just start it.
Honestly, like I said before, it's not going to be huge when you first start. It's going to probably be really hard, and it's probably going to suck, and it's probably you're probably going to feel like it's not working. But when you feel like it's not working, just keep doing it and just keep going. And if you put the work in, you will see results. Whether the results are like a week, a month, a year out, you will see them. You just have to put the work in and to start. Nothing's going to happen if you don't start. You're just going to sit there.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't think, like, when I gave it to you, I'm like, I didn't say here's $100,000.
Oh, no.
I was like, you're gonna start off small, but every time you keep making more, we'll put more in and stuff. And you're like, okay. And I was like, okay, that works really well for me because you knew I would continue growing it as long as we
were growing. Yeah.
So I think that worked out well. Any last minute tips or anything for anybody who's listening?
Find a boss like Karen.
Yes, find a boss like me. Could you write that down so I can bring it home
oh my gosh.
to my family?
Honestly, every time you give me a paper to retype, you're going to recite that to me.
Yes. The other thing I'm not really good at is typing.
I am her typer.
Yes.
I type everything out for her.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining Sarah and I today with the $1 Million Blueprint, and I hope you enjoyed, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks.